Now, people that know me know I don't do death videos. I don't. I don't like them. Because I rather focus on how a person lived than just focus about death and who shot them and all that stuff. That's basically dry snitching or snitching, period. And this is a perfect example of that. And people take their eyes, or they so fascinated by the theory and the drama of the names that they don't take time to look at what exactly happened in the events that led up to these things. And that's the sad part, because really that is it. Everybody is basically addicted to the sensationalizing of the names. So there's a bunch of names there. So wow, there we go. And it was crazy because, oh my God, it was nuts. I'll never forget it. Because, what was it? In 1996, I was in Hawaii. And I was on my way there, and Tupac was shot 2 weeks, like 2 weeks later. I think I had just came back to Chicago or something. But something had happened. They were getting ready to travel somewhere. And it was in August. And I was in Hawaii flying there. And I had to stop from Chicago to LA. And people were losing it because Tupac was at the airport. And I get there and I'm like, well, where's my connecting flight? You know, that's all I care about is my connecting flights. So I'm like, well, let me get my connecting flight here. So I'm trying to get my connected flight on, and before I could even do that, what's his name? Can't think of his name right now. But like security, everything, you couldn't see Tupac. You just see a bunch of big dudes walking in the whole crowd trying to follow him. So I could never like see him at that exchange. But I went to Hawaii, and Pac was just huge over there. It was West Coast, and Hawaii, you know, they consider themselves the West Coast. They even got West Coast zip code. Now, here's the thing. Looking at the situation in hand. When I was there, you know, I used to wear the bandanas, the West Side. Pac, a big fan of Pac. Loved his music. But looking at the situation at hand, when he came to death row, he aligned himself with Suge and the MOB mob power. So now, any way he want to change MOB and break it down to mean something else, you still MOB, and we mob over here, and you hanging out with them, Suge and the Pyro. You aligning yourself with them and their activities that was happening around that led up to that event. So let's just focus on that, period. Okay? Before anything transpired, we also know there was a mall incident involving a chain being snatched, and Tupac and the MOB, the mob, and all that stuff. We knew that happened. We knew there was an altercation at the House of Blues. Okay? So those two big altercations before this even happened. There was an altercation on his set for the movie they were doing when they did Hit 'Em Up and Made and all them songs that they were doing. Another altercation had happened there. People trying to fight his boys and everybody fighting on the set. So now, here comes this incident in Las Vegas. First off, Pac wasn't even supposed to go to Las Vegas, so no one even knew Tupac was going to Las Vegas. It wasn't announced that they were going to be at the Mike Tyson fight, so this is where we going to get him at. We're going there to get him at the Tyson fight and all this stuff. No. They were at the fight, doing their thing. Orlando Anderson and his people were at the fight, at the party, whatever, doing their thing. Nobody was colliding with the other side. Now, if anybody familiar with Orlando Anderson's history, you know, he was a shooter. He was not known for somebody who wouldn't be shooting. And then y'all assault him, and it seems like from the video, from what they showed, Tupac walk up to him and they get into an altercation. Then everybody started stomping on the guy. So when security got there and they broke out and left, and they talked to him and he was alright, hours later, it's a retaliation. And Tupac gets shot. Now, according to Keefe D, the guy that they had in there giving his testimony, who knew Puffy and was more aligned towards Puffy, even though he knew Pac and Puff at the one time. When Pac and them wasn't dealing with him, or nobody else, and his crew got cut off or whatever, he's trying to use that as the gas, as the reason why. And what I say is dry snitching. It's like they're investigating you, and you saying everything in the car that you shouldn't be saying, period. Because you're not finna go to jail for this. You saying, oh, I was in the car. Everybody in the car now is dead, except for him. So no one's can dare to dispute and say, oh, I passed the gun to him and then he did the shoot. But Puffy paid us, was supposed to pay us $500,000, and he wanted Suge and Pac on, and we messed up, and it's a hit. If that's the case, why Suge ain't shot? If that's the case, why Pac only got shot? Was it a miracle, or were they just shooting at Pac? Because if Orlando Anderson's doing the shoot, who you think who's the target that he wanted to shoot? The person that started it or jumped it, that he felt. So this is all according to Keefe D's testimony too. But this is the report that he gave. So according to the report he gave, I'm not saying Orlando did anything. I'm not going to say anybody did something, but allegedly is, you know, through his report. Now, my thing is this. If that's the case, Suge would have been shot right along with him. But he wasn't. Y'all shot at the person y'all wanted to shoot at. So I find it very hard to believe that Puffy paid y'all to go put a hit out on Tupac, which at one point would make no sense whatsoever. It makes no sense. It's only gonna make things worse. And then to pay you an absurd amount of money of $1 million. $1 million. People are getting taken out for 10 or less. $1 million. Listen, I just find this story to be nothing but pure fiction, fantasized by police officers who want to capitalize off the death of Tupac and Biggie. Greg Keating and all these other officers want to make money off of the situation, make their little movie documentaries, and anybody can make a documentary and make someone look guilty. They make these TV movies that are based on a true story, and 100% of it or 98% of it is false. That's just good entertainment for TV, because people are not going to research anything. They're not going to search anything for facts. Tupac's problem is he aligned himself with the MOB, and he's screaming that when he really didn't have to. He had love from everybody, but once he started doing that, there's certain people who are in it like that, like they in around Compton and everything else, and the Bay wasn't like that, and he had to do that. Now he come out here and it's MOB. You can't play like that out there, because these dudes, that's some real stuff. You know what I'm saying? That's like somebody coming out here to Chicago, and they were known as everywhere. Everybody used to bump it, and they come here. And the prime example, the Ghetto Boys. Ghetto Boys loved everywhere. As soon as they come here and they start aligning themselves with the Gangster Disciples, and they got Mr. Hoover on the CD. I swear to you, the moles flipped out, because they had love for Ghetto Boys. They just lost it. They couldn't even hear the record no more. And then on the song, when they saying GB like Ghetto Boys, but they sounded like they thought they were saying GD, and they went insane. Man, fuck Ghetto Boys, man, fuck them Ghetto Boys shit. Man, don't play that no more. I mean, that's how serious dudes was. They would, I'm telling you, certain people, they are in their zones. They're in their gang zones. If you don't understand it, don't deal with it. If you align yourself with somebody, you in it. So, it's whatever. And that's how they gonna take it. And it could become a lifetime problem. A lifetime problem. You don't play in those circles and think everything is gonna be okay just cause you. And that's why I felt that's what led to the incident happening. Nobody paid somebody to do nothing to him. I doubt that the plot was like that. It's a sad ending, but sometimes you got to look at what's there in reality and take out the fantasy and look at what happened and say, okay, yeah, alright, it all makes sense then. But don't nobody want to talk about it, because you basically you dry snitching, or snitching period. Nobody just don't talk about it. If the police wanted to solve the case, they would have solved the case. They didn't care to solve the case. And wasn't nobody going to cooperate, because people was going to handle it their own way. So that's the one where the streets going to take care of their own situation. And it's sad, because he has so much, I think, more to give, and he set a precedent to what these artists are today as far as work ethic and putting out product and things that matter. I'm like, he was talented, and he wasn't a gangster at all. Hated that label, but when you can't be one thing one day and then switch to something else the next, just because the way your attitude, your energy feels that day. Because there is no on and off switch when you do that. You cannot align yourself until these young kids stop doing that. Serious. My cousin learned a very valuable lesson going to LA from Chicago. You know, Chicago, we all about flashing and, you know, fashion and trying to be, you know, hip hop at all costs and just trying to match styles. And he had a bandana, a red one, in his back pocket. And he get off the plane, sagging the pants, you know, got the boots on, got the red flag in the back matching his jacket or whatever, hat or whatever he rocking. And dude was like, the guy who worked at the airport was like, hey, let me holler at you for me. He's like, where you from? Chicago? He's like, yes. Yeah, he's like, yeah, I know. He's like, I'm gonna tell you right now, you know, I wouldn't wear that red flag in the back of my pants like that because, you know, you can get hurt. He's like, a lot of people, he was like, look, I came up to you because, you know what I'm saying, I recognize the fact that you're not from here. But it's a lot of people who ain't gonna even ask you. You know what I'm saying? It's just gonna be on. So that's what I'm saying. You gotta show some respect to your environment or where you at that time. So you're young and you're watching this, hopefully you learn something from this. And notice how I rarely talked about Diddy or anything because that's the sensationalizing that they want to put on there. That's what they trying to use to sell this DVD. That's why it's pushed everywhere, you know, with his name on it, which is really just terrible slander of his name, period. Anything they can do to sell it. So, and make some money off of it. So I'm not really caught into that drama, sensationalizing stuff. So I'm able to weed out the BS. And hopefully you all are too. I'm out.